Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. How are you guys doing today? What a day, what a day, what a day it was, guys. Oh my god. So, my live stream seems to be offline, but I'm supposed to be live, right? Yes, I'm live. Can you guys hear me or see me? There you go, I am live. Let me see my sound. Can you guys hear me or see me? There you go. What's up, guys? How are you? Diamond 5.8. Please drop a comment down below. I guess that you guys have a bunch of questions. What a day, guys. Finally, we saw a bit of volatility in the markets, and you guys know that a trader's best friend is volatility. And oh my god, we got it today. Definitely. Please drop a comment down below. Let me know what stocks do you want me to go over. And in the meantime, let me make a summary of what happened today. If we see the closing of the indices, nothing crazy, guys. The Russell 2000 went down 1.29%. The Nasdaq went down 0.55%. The Dow Jones finally had a red day. If the Dow, guys, had closed today in the green, it would have had a 14 trading session, or it would have completed a winning streak of 14 trading sessions in a row. Absolutely unbelievable. So the new record was denied today. And this was, by the way, if the Dow had closed today in the green, it would have matched a record that comes back from 1987. So go figure that. So the record, the Dow couldn't match the record. That's it. So that's an assignment for another opportunity. And the S&P 500 went down 0.64%. Take a look at the sectors of the markets, guys. What a reversal we saw today. So these are the 11 sectors of the market, every single sector, but communication services closed today in the red. We know that obviously communication services went up today thanks to Meta and Google. I don't know if Google closed in the green. I am doubtful about that, but I guess that Meta did close in the green. But other than communication services, take a look. It was a bloodbath across the board. Technology went down 0.29%. Energy goes down 0.64%. Materials goes down 0.65%. Healthcare goes down 0.74%. Industrials down 0.86%. Consumer staples down 0.88%. Consumer discretionary down 1.05%. And financials down 1.26%. Also, utilities goes down 1.77%. And real estate, this is a very sensitive sector when it comes to yields. So the TNX had a very good day today. And therefore, the real estate sector went down today 2.11%. But take a look at the drop, guys. So they definitely pulled the rug out at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If we take a look at the SPY, we pull up here a 1 day, 1 minute chart. Take a look. The price action into the closing bell was nasty, no doubt about it. However, take a look at how the bulls couldn't close the trading session above the 5-day moving average. So we can make the case that the bears made a little progress over here, but the big picture is that we are in an uptrend. We have an upward sloping 200 DMA, 200-day moving average, upward sloping 100-day moving average. We can also see over here, and despite the fact that the bulls closed the trading session below the 5-day moving average, the 5-day moving average is upward sloping, so nothing wrong with it. And we can also see over here an upward sloping 20-day moving average. So it was a nasty day from a reversal standpoint, because take a look, guys. So this morning the SPY hit a brand new 52-week high at around noon. The 4 major indices were very green, actually, and then we saw this massive reversal, and we have to wait until tomorrow to see what happens. By the way, keep in mind that tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have another inflation report coming out. I don't know if you guys have heard about the base effect. So that's, let's say, a macro phenomenon that is helping the inflation figures that we have been receiving throughout the month of July. Okay. However, that base effect is going to be gone next month. And on top of that, we have seen the price of oil going higher and significantly higher throughout the month of July. So from an inflation standpoint, and I don't want to talk a lot about that, August is very likely to look quite different relative to July. But the inflation report that we are getting tomorrow, again, the core PCE, which by the way happens to be supposedly that report is supposedly the preferred inflation report of Papa Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve. So arguably that report might come out tomorrow, maybe as expected, and maybe tomorrow we might be seeing another green day. Because again, guys, from a technical standpoint, nothing crazy happened here today. You guys know that if you guys follow my updates in Discord, I am going to be letting you guys know all the technical information that you need tomorrow. From a big picture perspective, a retracement, and this is something that I told you guys about in the stream last week. A retracement down to the 20-day moving average, down to 447 bucks would be normal market behavior, nothing to be really worried about. I'm thinking if, let's say that today's price action was the beginning of some sort of sizable pullback in the markets, if this support of 447 bucks, again, this is an area that coincides with this upward sloping 20-day moving average. If this support happens to be taken out, happens to be broken to the downside, then I have another spot that I am going to be keeping an eye on, and that is this anchored volume weighted average price at around 444 bucks approximately. So this is an anchored volume weighted average price that comes from a former high back from June 16. So these are the levels that I am going to be keeping an eye to the downside if, again, what we saw today is the beginning of some sort of acceptable pullback. But in the meantime, guys, nothing really important happened today other than the reversal that we saw, which was nasty. I'm not going to argue that. And I'm thinking that if the inflation report that we are waiting for tomorrow, the core PCE, happens to come out as expected, maybe we are going to see the bulls climbing back up once again. VB is asking me, Powell mentioned their staff are not projecting inflation, right? Doesn't that imply tomorrow's report would be positive? Yeah, if we want to talk about macro stuff, which, you guys know that from 9:30 a.m. until 4 p.m., what we really pay attention to is the price action, right? Powell knows that we have this thing called the base effect. So what is actually happening with the base effect, guys? So the inflation readings that we had a year ago in July, so the inflation readings from June of last year were very low. So the competitive, or the numbers that we are comparing year over year are very positive, okay? Because again, the inflation that we had in the US in June of last year was very low. However, inflation picked back up last year in July. So that base effect is going to be gone for August, or in August in this case. And on top of that, take a look at these, guys. If you want to know my take on the inflation subject, take a look at oil, guys. So take a look at these two red lines over here. This is the West Texas Intermediate, which is the oil reference for the United States. So these two red lines, okay, belong or show us the price action of oil during the month of June. Take a look at how low the price of oil was throughout June. However, during July, the price of oil has gone up 16%. And you guys know that for the most part, the, let's say, improvement that we have seen when it comes to inflation has to do mainly with the drop in commodity prices. So August is going to be a tough month probably, inflation-wise. We still need to wait until August to see what actually happens. But I'm just trying to tell you guys what I am expecting towards the inflation report that we are waiting for tomorrow, which happens to be the core PCE. That report should come out as expected, or maybe better than expected. And you guys know the bulls. So I think that we have a fair chance of seeing some sort of reversal of the red day that we had today, tomorrow. And then August is going to be a whole different story because the base effect is going to be gone. Pretty much. Okay. Ami is asking about Adobe. I haven't taken a look at Adobe in quite some time. Let me see. Adobe. What is going on over here with Adobe? It went down today 0.11% and it closed the trading session at $513.97. We can make the case that Adobe could have closed the trading session in the green if we hadn't had the ugly price action that we saw into the closing bell. Let me take a look at a 4-hour chart, okay, if I happen to be able to speak today. You guys know that I am 100% improvising over here, guys, and at this time of the day, I already went live during 7 hours for the people of my Patreon, which happens to be spoken in Spanish and stuff like that, so you don't need to sign up for my Patreon because you're not going to be able to understand a word. But I'm very tired, so if you guys notice some mistakes here and there, well, I apologize for that. Okay, so over here we can see a 4-hour chart, and this is an uptrend, guys, a very good looking chart. We have an upward sloping 200-day moving average, upward sloping 100-day moving average. The 5-day moving average also happens to be upward sloping as well as the 20-day moving average. Nothing to complain about this chart. If I happen to zoom in over here, the bulls couldn't hold this 5-day moving average into the closing bell, $520. So they closed below it. And I'm thinking, if tomorrow we happen to see a green day, a turnaround Friday, which could be the case, based on a better than expected, and I am quoting better than expected, core PCE, watch out for this area, guys, this 5-day moving average, $520, because this 5-day moving average happens to coincide with a previous resistance back from mid-July, and this is also a previous resistance back from mid-June. So if the bulls happen to be able to burst above this area, they have two other gaps to the upside that they could be potentially filling. The first one, $530, previous resistance back from late July, and we have another, or a second, or a third gap, I could say, to the upside, up to $540, which happens to be a previous resistance back from mid-July as well. So let's say that we grab some calls or shares or whatever it is, with Adobe bursting above $520, from $520 up to $530. This would be a 1.60% profit trade, and up to the second gap that I just told you guys about, $530. This could be a 3% profit trade. However, let's say that Adobe keeps pulling back. What could be the next important area of support, or a potential area of interest support-wise? Maybe $493, which is a previous area of resistance at which Adobe felt on multiple occasions in late June and also early July. Let me take a look at the supply and the demand of Adobe. Let me see over here. So what is the demand and the supply looking like over here? So buyers and sellers. Adobe system. There you go. Take a look, guys. We might see lower prices in Adobe. Remember, on top of this chart, you guys can see the demand, so buyers pretty much. And on the bottom of the chart, the supply or sellers. And take a look, guys, the demand is decreasing, so we can see a fall in demand. The supply is also falling, but ideally, the market structure that we want to see in order to have some certainty about the fact whether a stock is going to go higher or lower, or higher in this case, is the demand rising and the supply falling. So the fact that the demand is falling over here along with the supply makes me believe that maybe Adobe has an appointment with lower prices. Maybe we might be about to see 490-ish bucks coming up, and that might represent a buy the dip opportunity. So since I am noticing that the demand is falling, guys, I wouldn't touch Adobe unless I see it closing candles above 520 bucks. That would be a confirmation that the demand is starting to rise once again, and that would be the trade that I would be taking over here. So watch out for Adobe consolidating above 520 bucks, or maybe paying a visit down to 493 bucks approximately. Can you go over CrowdStrike? Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Let me take a look at CRWD. So what do we have over here? It went down today. I guess that we are going to be able to identify the same pattern. Yeah. So the stock was in the green, and since we saw a massive drop in general terms for the indices into the closing bell, then CrowdStrike couldn't hold the green territory. Let's just put it that way. Let me pull up here a 4-hour chart. This is an uptrend, guys. Nothing to complain about. I mean, we can complain about something. We can kind of complain about the fact that we are seeing over here a downward sloping 200-day moving average, but on the flip side, we have an upward sloping 100-day moving average, and the 5-day moving average seems to be flattish. So this is a good looking chart. Nothing to complain about over here. What would be the trade that I would be interested in the case of CrowdStrike? Let me see. We have a potential gap that could be getting filled up to $161.80. So I would keep an eye on this flat 5-day moving average. So I would like to see CrowdStrike consolidating slightly above $152.05. That could be signaling that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to fill this gap up to $162-ish, let's say, okay? So let's say that we take this trade, guys, from $152.40-ish, whatever that is, up to 161 bucks. This would be a 5% profit trade. Nothing to sneeze at. So this would be the trade that I would be interested in the case of CrowdStrike. Let me take a look at the market structure of CrowdStrike. I hadn't taken a look at CrowdStrike in quite some time, guys. Let me see. CrowdStrike. So what do we have over here? Take a look. Another stock with falling demand. And in the case of CrowdStrike, guys, we have a rising supply. Fall in demand, so buyers walking away from it, maybe taking profit, and we can make the case that sellers are starting to step in because the supply is rising and about to burst above average. So if this support of 152 bucks happens to be broken to the downside, maybe we could see further profit taking, maybe to 146 bucks, which is a previous support back from a few days ago, 3 days ago, back from July 24th. So be careful here because the demand is falling and the supply is rising. So the only trade that I would be interested over here would be either CrowdStrike, as I just said, guys, closing candles above 152 bucks, or maybe paying a visit down to $147.30-ish, approximately. There you go. So we went over CrowdStrike. We have DPC, Domino's Pizza. Do you guys like Domino's Pizza? I do like it a lot. Guilty as charged. They recently posted earnings, a good report, I think. it went up today 0.30% and it closed the trading session at $402.58. So take a look at these guys. Despite the fact, that the markets pretty much collapsed today into the closing bell, the stock of this company closed in the green. This implies that we are seeing over here relative strength. This is a very, very, very good sign for DPZ in a day in which I haven't taken a look at the advancers and decliners distribution of today's trading session, but I guess that I guess that it was nasty because of the price action that we saw into the closing bell. But this is a very good sign. So this is a stock that is not only in an uptrend, because we see over here an upward sloping 100-day moving average, upward sloping 200-day moving average, upward sloping 20-day moving average, and also an upward sloping 5-day moving average. So this stock is clearly in an uptrend. But aside from that, we have relative strength over here. So I'm thinking that as long as the bulls of DPZ, Domino's Pizza, can hold or can consolidate above $395, then this could be signaling that they are gathering momentum in order to fill. Let me see what gap they could be about to fill. Yeah, we have another gap over here up to 426 bucks. I am going to draw a line over here. So 426 bucks happens to be a previous resistance back from July of last year. How about that, huh? So let me see. This is a very interesting chart, guys. Wow, this stock is about to break out once again, guys. So the bulls already broke out from 394 bucks, which I just told you that could be, let's say, an important line of defense for the bulls in order to be able to consolidate, in order to be able to gather momentum to climb up to higher prices. So we already saw DBZ breaking out from 394 bucks, and now this stock could be potentially gathering momentum, as I just said, in order to break out from 410 bucks, which happens to be a previous resistance. Let me draw a line over here. This is a previous resistance back from July 12th. So what about a retracement here of DBZ down to 394? If we happen to confirm that level is acting as support from 394 bucks up to 410 bucks, this would be a 4% profit trade, or maybe a breakout trade, guys, with DPZ bursting above 410 bucks, in which case we could see this gap up to 426 bucks getting filled. This would be a 4% profit trade. Very, but very interesting chart for DBZ. So thanks for bringing it up. Let me take a look at the market structure. Let me reconcile a very good technical chart that is showing relative strength, no pun intended, with the market structure. Let me see. What do we have over here? Take a look. So the demand is falling and the supply is rising. So let me pull up here once again the 4-hour chart. Since I am seeing this market structure, guys, maybe we will not see the breakout from 410 bucks right away, and maybe we can see a bit of profit taken, in which case DPZ could be paying a visit down to 394 bucks. And again, if it happens to find support over there, it could be bouncing back up. There you go. Can you go over BOT? Absolutely. Sure. Let me take a look. Let me know what other stocks you guys want me to go over. This is Budweiser, right? Is it? What is? No, this isn't Budweiser. Is it? No, this is an ADR. This has nothing to do with Budweiser. I was mistaken. Okay. I don't know what. I mean, I think that I never heard of this stock before. What do we have here? So BAT is trading below this 100-day moving average. The bulls managed to close today's trading session above this upward sloping 200-day moving average, and they also held into the closing bell the 5-day moving average. So I am going to draw a line over here. This is kind of an acceptable chart. Um, so this stock went down today 0.94%, and it closed the trading session at $58.14. So, um, yeah, if you guys happen to see BUD consolidating above 58 bucks, this could be signaling that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to fill this next gap up to 60 bucks, which happens to be a level that coincides with this 100-day moving average. So from 58 bucks ish up to 60 bucks, this could be a 3% profit trade. Let me take a look. I don't know if I happen to have the market structure of this stock, because I don't have all of the, yeah, I have it available, but I don't have every single stock of the markets available on Market Structure Edge. And again, falling demand, but also a falling supply. So this would be a tie, right? Yeah, the market structure sentiment is at 7 out of 10. So we can make the case that we have a tie over here between buyers and sellers. So just keep an eye on 58 bucks as support. Is this Budweiser really? But this is an ADR. Oh, so it is Budweiser, right? But why is it an ADR? So when you guys see here, like ADR, this implies that this is a stock from a foreign country, guys. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the Budweiser belongs to a Mexican company. Is that the case? I'm asking. I don't know. I'm not certain, right? But this is an ADR. So this is not an American company. So I'm curious about that, guys. Let me see. Now I am curious. Let me pull it up here quickly. Let me look it up on Robinhood. So this is Budweiser. So what is going on over here? Let me see. I just took a day trade on Intel, guys, after hours, once the earnings report came out. So this is Budweiser. Anheuser-Busch. But what is the headquarters of this company at? Let me see. I don't have it here. Why? Should have it. Has a holding company which engages in the manufacture and distribution of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. By the way, my favorite beer is Bud Light, guys. I should know this. This is embarrassing. But this is an ADR. So this is an American depository receipt. But I don't know what is the but the headquarters is in Belgium, guys. Okay, there you go. So I learned something new today. Thanks. XOM. Do you want me to go over what could be potentially happening tomorrow with XOM on its earnings report? Let me take a look. Absolutely. So oil has been going higher, guys. We have, as I told you in the beginning of the stream, oil is slightly below 80 bucks. Slightly below 80 bucks. $79.82. So that's good news for oil companies. So what is XOM expected to do tomorrow? Let me take a look. ExxonMobil. So the expected move is 3.5%. So XOM went up today 0.31%, and it closed the trading session at $105.42. So taking into account today's closing price, $105.43. If it happens to go up tomorrow 3.5%, this would represent a push to the upside of $4.50 each. So if the reaction to the report happens to be positive, we could see XOM climbing up to 110 bucks. 110 bucks is a previous resistance back from early June. And to the downside, let me see, a drop of 3.50% would have XOM drop down to $101 approximately. So this is what the options market is expecting. That's the expected move. In the case of XOM, on its last earnings report, it collapsed. On its second to last earnings report, it went higher. 3 earnings reports ago, it went higher as well, and 4 earnings reports ago, it went higher as well. So the response of the markets has been positive, in 2 out of its last 4 earnings reports. Um, from a technical standpoint, guys, I don't really like this chart. You guys know that I don't like, and I rarely ever trade downtrends. We can see ExxonMobil trading below its 200-day moving average, also below its 100-day moving average. So I wouldn't touch the stock of this oil company below the 200-day moving average, so below $108.80. I would wait for XOM to burst above this moving average in order to start any position. So let's say, guys, and take a look at the RSI. It is at 56 points on the 4-hour chart, very healthy. So let's say that the result of the report tomorrow is positive, and effectively XOM happens to jump $4 ish, and if it happens to consolidate slightly above this 200-day moving average, so slightly above $109, I might be a buyer. Why not? Because we have more upside potential. So let's say that XOM consolidates above $109. We have another gap to the upside up to $114. This is a previous resistance back from early March. So from $109 up to, let me see, $114, this would be a 5% profit trade. So be careful, because XOM is still in a downtrend, but with oil prices going higher, who knows? Maybe we are about to see ExxonMobil reversing this downtrend and starting to go higher. Let me see. The Financial Freedom Literacy Company. Did you go over SPY? Yes, I did at the beginning of the video. Yeah, sure, I did. If you rewind it, you're going to see the analysis. No problem. Come next. Let me see. Come, is that a stock? Let me see. Wow, you guys haven't asked. I'm surprised, guys. You haven't asked about Nvidia, Tessie, what else? Amazon, Apple. I'm surprised. Is it that you guys are starting to look at different stocks? Okay, CommScope. It went down today 3.90%, and it closed the trading session at $4.44. This is a major downtrend. I don't trade penny stocks. I have told you guys on multiple occasions that I don't trade penny stocks. You know that we have in our community, we have Alpha Trader. He's a specialist when it comes to penny stocks. Not my case, not my cup of tea. So I don't like trading those stocks. I wouldn't touch these guys. And I don't have anything constructive to say over here, because this is a major downtrend. We have a downward sloping 200-day moving average, downward sloping 100-day moving average, downward sloping 5-day moving average. So I don't have anything positive to say over here, other than, and that isn't positive, but just to stay away from these penny stocks or DM Alpha. Yeah, Alpha can tell you a bit more about CommScope Holdings. Yeah, I don't trade these stocks, guys. Sorry, I am not the guy that is going to break down a penny stocks and that is going to tell you areas of support and resistance, because this is not my cup of tea. I never ever trade penny stocks. By the way, I had this morning. By the way, on my Patreon, guys, I had. Was it today? Was it today? Let me see. I think that I had. No, it was yesterday. I had a penny stock from which, or of which I got an unusual options alert, but I don't have the information handy, so just forget it. Yeah. If I happen to remember, I will let you guys know the information in my Discord channel. Sure, absolutely. Okay, guys. Let me see if I have any other request of any other given stock. We are 34 minutes in. There you go. So we went over the SPY, we went over ExxonMobil, Domino's Pizza, Budweiser. What else? Adobe. We also went over Adobe. If you have any other requests, please let me know. Or otherwise, I am going to wrap it up. It's been a very long day, guys. I started streaming for the people of my Patreon at 9:15 a.m. and I closed the stream 5 minutes before going live with you. So I'm exhausted. Google, absolutely. Google my Google. Tessie, there you go. I was I was like, what is going on here? They haven't asked about Tessie. Palantir, okay. Okay. I should have wrapped it up without saying anything. Without asking for more requests. Okay. Alphabet goes up today 0.16%, and it closed the trading session at $129.87. Again, guys, we saw a very nasty price action into the closing bell. Alphabet actually in entered into negative territory, and it managed to bounce back up into the closing bell a bit before the closing bell rang, 15 minutes before that, and it was actually the bulls of Alphabet were actually able to pull off a green day today. That's a good sign, taking into account the price action that we saw today into the closing bell. This is an uptrend, nothing to complain about here, guys. We have a semi-ascending 200-day moving average, upward sloping 100-day moving average. The 5-day moving average is clearly upward sloping as well. But let me zoom in here. What would be the trade that I would be interested in? I mean, we can make the case that the bulls of Google are working on some sort of bullish flag pattern over here. Oh yeah, take a look, guys. Let me see if I can draw it again. No, let me see. Yeah, we can make the case. This is bullish, guys. This is some sort of bull flag, not an academic one, but this is a bull flag. So watch out for Alphabet, guys, because if this bull flag, this non-academic bull flag, happens to be completed, happens to unfold, in which case the bulls are going to have to take out, in which case the bulls are going to have to burst above 133 bucks. We have another gap to the upside. Let me see. 133 bucks. So we have another gap over here. Yeah, we could see, guys, 138 bucks coming up for Google. 138 bucks is a previous resistance back from August of 2021. Jesus Christ. How about that, huh? And this is also a previous support back from December of 2021 as well. So if we were able to take this trade on Google from 130 bucks up to 138 bucks, this would be a 6% profit trade. Nothing to sneeze at. So this is a very good looking chart. Now that about it. Let me take a look at the market structure of Google McGoogle. Let me see. Google. So what is the supply and the demand looking like? Buyers and sellers. Let me see. And again, guys, well, I'm seeing a lot of falling demand, guys, in most of the stocks that we have gone over today. That could be signaling that we are about to see some sort of general retracement in the markets. So in the case of Google, we can see the supply rising, so sellers starting to step in over here, and the demand is falling. So from a market structure standpoint, I would be expecting lower prices in the case of Google. So this bullish flag pattern might not be unfolding quite yet. So we have a very clear previous area of resistance at 127 bucks. 127 bucks is a previous resistance back from May and June, and this is also a previous resistance back from mid-July. So what about a retracement down to 127 bucks in regular market conditions? I think that buyers might be stepping in. And on top of that, the earnings report that came out, was it yesterday or the day before that? That was on Tuesday. Was an acceptable report. So taking into account the market structure of Google, I wouldn't be expecting this bullish flag pattern to unfold, at least quite yet, and I might be a buyer of the dip at around 127 bucks. Okay, now we have Tessie. What is going on in the case of Tessie? By the way, guys, this is a stock that usually has very expensive options, either calls or puts. The options in the case of Tesla are very expensive. If you want to if you want to build up some sort of swing position on Tesi, or if you want to start a position, let's say thinking about 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 2 months out, or something like that, regardless of your perspective, to the downside or to the upside, this is a very good moment in order to buy Tesla options because the IV rank is very low. So we have the IV rank of Tesla sitting at 0.30%. In Tesla terms, that's a very but very low IV rank. So this is a very good time in order to purchase Tesla options regardless of your bias, either bullish or bearish, but keep that in mind. So what could be happening here, guys? Are we going to see a visit of the 100-week moving average, $253? This is an area that might be providing support tomorrow. On top of that, this 100-week moving average, you guys can see over here, this blue line, that's the 100-week moving average, very important, a very important moving average. This 100-week moving average happens to coincide with a previous support back from late July, and this is also a previous support back from mid-June. So let's say that TESI finds support at around $253. If we happen to start a position over here and TESI bounces back up and fills the next important gap up to $265, this could represent a 5% profit trade, nothing to sneeze at. And in the case of $265, this is a previous resistance back from July 21st, and this is also a previous resistance back from late June and also back from mid-June. This could be a potential trade over here in the case of TESI. From a bigger picture perspective, we can see the 200-day moving average is not downward sloping. It is no longer, I should say, downward sloping, which is a good sign, but it is kind of flattening out, which is also a positive sign, I could say. The 100-day moving average is starting to rise, which is also positive, but the sellers have been making progress over here because they were able to drop TESI below this downward sloping 5-day moving average. So this is not a good sign. When you guys see, and I have been telling you this over and over again throughout my live streams, the 5-day moving average, which happens to be this white line that you guys can see over here, is frequently used in order to determine who is in control of minor time frames. So if you see a 5-day moving average downward sloping, and if that 5-day moving average happens to be detected in a major time frames, in a major uptrend in major time frames, that is a sign that we might be potentially about to see a trend change. Because as you guys know, trend changes start in minor time frames and they move towards major time frames. So when I see an uptrend that with a downward sloping 5-day moving average, I'm like, okay, this uptrend is starting to look a bit suspicious, okay, because sellers are starting to gain control of that uptrend. Let me reconcile the technical chart with the market structure of TESI. Let me see over here. What do we get? Take a look, guys. The demand is collapsing. And the supply is also decreasing, which kinds of evens things up. But it is impossible to see a demand falling the way that it is looking in the case of TESI. So let's see. $253 is going to be a very important spot for the bulls in order to put on a good fight. So maybe Tesla could be bouncing back up. If the support of $253 happens to be broken to the downside in good volume, guys, watch out. This could be a short down to another previous support at around $238, which happens to be a previous support back from late June. There you go. Now I'm being asked about Palantir. I haven't taken a look at Palantir in quite some time. goes down today 1.70%. No, I'm not at home. There you go. So Palantir goes down today 1.70%, and it closed the trading session at $16.15. This is an uptrend. Again, upward sloping 200-day moving average, upward sloping 100-day moving average. However, guys, we have the very same case of Tessie. So we are seeing an uptrend, no doubt about it. However, we are seeing the 5-day moving average starting to decline. So this is a sign that sellers are starting to gain control of this technical short in minor timeframes. So what could be happening over here in the case of Palantir? This stock closed today's trading session at $16.15, right at an interesting or an area of interest support-wise. Why? Because $16-ish has been acting as support lately, and this is also a previous resistance back from mid-June. So a very important spot for the bulls of Palantir over here, right at 16 bucks. So keep an eye on this area, guys. 16 bucks. If Palantir happens to be able to open tomorrow's trading session slightly above 16 bucks, this could be a sign that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to fill two potential gaps to the upside. The first one up to this, this is a previous resistance over here. I shouldn't have this blue thing over here. What do I have here? Let me see. Let me delete these guys quickly. I have my status messed up. I need to delete these. Yeah, I don't need this. There you go. There you go. Much better. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I have a 9-day moving average that I never use. I don't know why that moving average is over there. Okay, so we have a first gap up to $17.20. This is a previous resistance at which Palantir failed at today. And this is also a previous resistance back from mid-July, and also a previous resistance back from mid-June and also early June. So Palantir consolidates above 16 bucks. And if we happen to start a long trade over there, and if Palantir happens to bounce back up from that spot up to $17.15, this would represent a 5% profit trade, nothing to sneeze at. However, since we are seeing this market structure, I haven't taken a look at, let me take a look at the market structure of Palantir. Since the 5-day moving average is declining, I need to reconcile the technical chart with the supply and the demand of Palantir. So let me pull up here the supply and the demand of Palantir. What do I have? Take a look, guys. Again, a fall in demand and a supply that is also decreasing, but that as of now is slightly above the demand. So I don't know. Be careful with 16 bucks. And if, let's say, this could also be a short trade, guys. If Palantir opens the trading session below 16 bucks, and if you guys notice that the bulls are struggling at trying to burst above 16 bucks, then we could see Palantir retracing further down to 15 bucks. This could be another, this would be a retracement of how much? A 6% retracement? This could be an opportunity in order to grab puts over here. So 16 bucks is going to be a pivotal spot for Palantir above 16 bucks, or holding 16 bucks, or closing candles above 16 bucks. This could be an opportunity in order to go long, or losing 16 bucks as support. That could imply that we are about to see a quick visit down to 15 bucks, which is a previous support back from early July. There you go. You're so thorough and helpful. Thank you so much, Alvaro. Anytime, guys. Please, if you notice any mistakes here and there, then I apologize. Again, I have been streaming for, I don't know, like 9 hours in a row. At this time of the day, I'm very tired. I would actually like to go live for you guys for any opening of a trading session. I don't know, anytime soon. We need to work that out. So thank you very much for coming over. And tomorrow we're going to have a fun day, huh? So keep an eye on my Discord channel. You guys know that I am over there calling bulls and strikes. So enjoy the rest of your day. And I'd better grab a beer, guys. I'm like exhausted. Jesus Christ. So take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Thank you very much for coming over once again. Bye. Take care.